All right, so what's up there, YouTube? Okay, so today I want to talk to you guys about this entire idea that Joe Biden shut down a working pipeline right after he was elected, and that's what caused the price of gas and oil to rise. Now, I posted a video, my last video, about showing where the barrels of oil being produced went down under Donald Trump in 2020. And if you can look right here, 11 million barrels, 9 million barrels. So it went down from 11, it went down from 12, 851, 844, 12, 796. So it actually went down, then 11, then 9, then 10, then 11, then 10, then 10. So it went down for 1 month. And that was April of 2020. And that's when we had COVID hit. So if you can see 2021, this is January, right, of 2021. Joe Biden is put in office. 1 month, they went down. The barrels of oil did go down, but they only went down. It went from 11, so 2 million barrels went down. Not 10 million, not 5 million, not a ton. And I want to explain what this means, and then it went right back up again. And it could have been from fear of something. It could have been from something else. We have no idea exactly what caused the barrels of oil, but this is produced by America. So let's talk real quick, because America producing oil is what's important to us, right? So I want to make sure everybody's on the same record here. We're all on the same page, right? So America producing oil is what we want. U.S. supply of oil, U.S. energy information. We want America producing oil, right? So when America produces oil, that's American oil. This is what oil that we produced. So if there was a pipeline going from, say, Kansas to Texas, and Joe Biden shut down a pipeline that was pumping American oil from Kansas to Texas, then you would have a point. You'd be like, oh, see, he's trying to shut down American oil, right? He's trying to stop American oil. But we can see that production continued and ramped back up and continued to ramp up. It only went down one more month. What is this, November or something? It went down 1 month in 2021, but it didn't go down by much. It didn't even go down by 1 million barrels. It went down, 11,314 to 10,957. So almost 11 million again. So then it went right back up again. And then it continued to go up all the way through 2022. It did not drop back down again. It stayed high the whole time, and then we produced even more. So let's get back to this pipeline. What was the pipeline? Everybody says, I've heard the argument over and over and over. Joe Biden shut down a pipeline. He's the reason why the gas prices went high, is because Joe Biden shut down a pipeline. Did he? So let's take a look. Here's the Keystone XL pipeline. This is not, what is the Keystone XL pipeline? This is not, hey, Joe Biden shut down a pipeline that was working, that was, sending oil, or, hey, we're anti-government or we're pro-government. This has nothing to do with any of that. This is just, what is it? What's it about? What is this Keystone? The Keystone pipeline extension proposed by TC Energy in 2008 was initially designed to transport the planet's dirtiest fossil fuel. That's an opinion, dirtiest. Just who cares? Transport the planet's fossil fuel, tar sands oil, to market and fast. An expansion of the company's existing Keystone pipeline system, which has been operating since 2010 and continues to send Canadian tar sands crude oil from Alberta, Canada, to various processing hubs in the middle of the United States. The pipeline promised to dramatically increase capacity to process the 160 billion barrels of crude oil locked up under Canada's boreal forest. So, this pipeline pumped, and continues to pump today, oil from Canada to actually the Gulf. Refineries on the Gulf Coast of Texas. So it pumps from Canada through our country and down to the Gulf Coast of Texas. That pipeline is still running. It did not shut down. It pumps oil today, the same amount today that it pumped before Joe Biden took office. So nothing changed, the same amount. What they were going to do was the pipeline went like this and then like this. They wanted to cut off the center section of it. Well, the problem was that center section that they wanted to cut off, that they wanted to shorten, went through private property and national forest. It went through protected land and private property. So private property people did not want them to use eminent domain to steal their property to build a pipeline on it. And the environmentalists didn't want them. So it wasn't just environmentalists. It was environmentalists and people. Look, Keystone XL and tar sands pipeline map. So here's the map. So it comes from Canada, comes over this way, through North Dakota this way, right down through North Dakota, through South Dakota, into Nebraska, and then it cuts across and goes over to here and goes down to the Gulf, right? They wanted to build a new pipeline from here straight through Montana, straight through South Dakota, into Nebraska. So it's already going through, this is where it goes now. So all we were going to do was make it go through Montana and South Dakota and Nebraska. So it's already going through North and South Dakota here. All we were doing was shortening it. They were going to shorten it and go straight from there to there to cut off the corner. So this pipeline, the dark line, is still running. Existing Keystone pipeline system. That pipe is still running and still pumping oil from here to here, here, and there, and there. That's where they'll pump. The oil already pumps. And it's still pumping. Nothing changes. Dirty Energy lobbyists claim developing sands would protect our national energy security and bring U.S. fuel prices down. But environmental reviews of both Obama and Trump administration concluded that the Keystone XL pipeline would not have lowered gasoline prices. Do you know why? Because we don't set the price of a barrel of oil. That's number one. Number two, it's not our oil. It's Canada's oil. That's two. So it's not even our oil. I could see if this was our oil. I can't believe Americans are mad that we didn't give up land to Canada. Really? I thought you liked sovereign states and you didn't want to have the government stealing property from U.S. citizens to give to other countries. That's Canadians' oil. It's not ours. And that's number one. We don't set the price of a barrel of oil. That's OPEC that does that. We just talked about it in the last video. And number two, even if we did have the pipeline going faster, we're not making the oil. We're not getting the benefit of it. Our oil production stays the same. Their oil production goes up. Canada gets more oil produced. They're able to ship the oil faster out to the ocean, to the Gulf, to Houston, where they're going to either refine it and send it into a thing or ship it to another country. So they're making all the money on it. I don't understand why why people were so upset that they didn't take up land in Montana that belonged to people and build a pipeline through it. Why would you be wanting to give our land to somebody else to build a pipeline through it? Why? Why would you even want that? Why is this pipeline even going through our country? It's not there. Let them ship that all the way over to their coast and ship it out from their country. I get it. We're trying to help overall, but here's why that wouldn't lower the price of oil. When Joe Biden sold our reserves off, he was trying to lower the price of gas, and it still didn't work. People were all upset that he sold off reserves. We have to sell off reserves. It's actually in the law. Part of the law of selling reserves is we have to sell to the highest bidder. We can't pick and choose that way we don't say, okay, we're going to sell off reserves, and our way of doing it is we're going to sell some to India because India owes, donated a bunch of money to my campaign, so I'm going to give India a deal on oil, or Russia, or Great Britain, or China, whoever. What the law says is we have to sell the oil at the market value, whatever somebody will bid on it. So if China bids more for our oil, they get it. That's how it works. It's not, nobody picked and chose and said, hey, let's sell our oil to Canada and make more money. So this website is dealing with the environmental impact, and I get it. But if you also look, it's also it has to do with people taking their property. That oil that was going to run through people's private property, and they were going to have to take it by eminent domain, which is basically we're either going to take the land or we're going to pay you the minimum amount for your land so that we can have this pipeline for Canadian pipeline for Canada, as if what we want them to have the oil. I don't understand why people would even be upset about this. It makes no sense. Anyway, when the Obama administration refused to grant cross-border permits necessary to build XL pipeline in November 2015, struck a blow against polluting powers and acknowledged the consensus of misguided project-wide swath of communities. Upon entering office, President Trump, with his pro-polluter cabinet, I see this is biased, of fossil fuel advocates, billionaires, and blah, blah, blah. On his fourth day in office, Trump signed an executive order to allow Keystone XL to move forward. And that's why executive orders are not good, because that can easily be overturned, which is what President Biden did.